What's up, party people? We got a great show for you. The week has ended. We're going to kick the tires and start the show. But in the meantime, let's get into our intro. Welcome to Week Ended. But before you go and relax this weekend or head to a comics event, let's get you in to know of all the comics news that came over the Comics News Wire this week, that turned heads and comics pages in this comic book industry. And now to our anchors to give you the news you need to know.
Hey, morning comics fans. How's everybody doing? Of course, if you see my face, you know that it is Friday.
Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's try that again. I pressed the button. The button. You started talking. I'm like, all right, we'll do the warning in a minute. And all of a sudden it started playing. I'm like, awkward.
Well, I'm not used to. We're not usually too.
Well, we need it today.
Oh no.
We need it today. I made sure to play it because there are going to be some hurt feelings after today. A little bit, I think.
Oh, all right. Well, anyway, good morning, comics fans. I'm C. Michael Letting, of course. Just this week ended right here on Friday, just to end your week with mainstream and indie comics, because to us, they're the same. Of course, you see my co-anchor today is Mr. Rob Anderson. Mr. Rob Anderson, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm lazy. I'll just do a video.
Mr. Anderson is the unboxable advocating creator known as the devilish comics creator who will tempt you with his devilish tales. He creates books about fetish, monsters, and more, and offers free spanks and hugs. He also teaches morals with farts. Check out the Comics Devil by going to MrAnderson.com.
That's
all
me.
Right.
I'm also Continuum Comics, proud partner in Continuum Comics.
All right. Well, are you ready to get into some news?
Let's do it. Let's go tell everyone what happened this week.
All right. Let's see. First up, we're going to see this is from Comics News Wire. When someone does it better, get out of the way. So move over Comic Book Shop Directory and welcome Comic Shop Locator. Okay, so check that out. Yeah, go ahead.
This is actually for comic book advocates. We had started to try to make a comic book directory. It turned out Diamond had actually beat us to the punch at some point, and I'd somehow never been aware of it. And I always said when I started, even back 5 years, 6 years ago when we started Comic Book Advocates, that when someone did it better, we'd get out of the way. This was a pure example. I could try to redo everything they had done, or I could send them an email and ask for permission to promote them and have them on our site. Sent an email. We have permission. We upgraded to something that works better for the users. It's not about ego. It's not about us being the ones that give it to you. It's about getting you what you need. And this is a good product to find local comic book shops. Sadly, it's not always up to date. I did find just a little bit of out of date information with certain things, but that's not on Diamond because you can't. What are they going to do? Call up 1,000 comic book stores every month?
Yeah. And then there's new ones popping up, so you got to give time to get them. So cool.
New feature on the site.
Awesome.
You want to take this one so I can take the next? Oh, actually, I don't think it's the very next one. I can do this one.
It's not, but you can do the next two.
All right, yeah.
Because I actually know these guys. Scout Comics' last stop is now in development with Sean Robbins. They are going to be producing, I think it's called Unstoppable. This is it is a comic book over at Scout, but it started out as a webtoon comic. The same group actually have a cool webtoon comic called Mongrel over there, Trey Walker and Hoyt Silva. So y'all want to go check that out and keep an eye out open. I mean, Scouts are obviously moving up. We're going to see some new videos and movies coming out from them soon. So
No.
No. And this one's going to be tricky for me. Hold on. There we go. It wants to do that. There you go.
Cool new little sliding feature where you guys can see the two different shows. Pretty exciting thing that we have on our site now. But more importantly, it's our first map in a long time. I can't even remember the last time we had a forecast map for you guys. It is just about Florida this weekend. It is, well, not this weekend, next weekend, I should say. First map in a while. It's going to start May, right? We have the grand opening first on May 1st, which I will be attending, including some amazing other people like David Byrne, David Galliano, Heather Gibb and Travis Gibb, David Greschel, Jonathan Hendricks, CJ Labe, Chuck and Wendy Gale, and Peter Rossetti, Emily Rossetti, Joel Rodriguez, Dave Summy, Trey Walker, Stoney Williams, and Kyle Willis. He's going to be there. It's going to be great. There, of course, Cthulhu Invades Oz. Then over here on the other side of Florida on Sunday, because look at where I'm going to be. This is crazy. Like, you can see the trip I have to take. I go all the way away from home to come all the way home to do a show. Southwest Florida Comic-Con here in Fort Myers. Admission free for kids under 11. $20 for adults. It's going to be from 10 to 5 p.m. I'm super excited about it. You can come hang out with me and Mike. We're going to be representing Continuum Comics for the very first time. What does that mean? Well, you're going to have to come in to the show and enter the Continuum and see what we're talking about, see all the different books we have and all the information we have. Cat Dad and Supermom will be there. That's right. So pretty excited about this. I'm back on the road next week. And that sad news, this weekend is our last weekend with the Sunday Comics Brunch for a while. Doesn't mean we might not do things. I'm sure that maybe we'll line up where I can call C when we're at a show and we do smaller videos from a show and we can do interviews, or we'll do something with Meredith. But it's time to let everyone get back. We're going to be back with Sunday Comics Brunch in the fall when everything starts slowing down again. Although this fall, I've said it, I don't know when it will slow down. New York Comic-Con, you'll see it later, officially announced it's going.
All right.
Some other shows. Baltimore's going to go. San Diego's in the fall this year. No, winter. Yeah, fall or I forget. Thanksgiving. Is it winter or fall? I think December's winter, right?
December is technically winter, but it starts getting cold in November sometimes.
But it's in the C2E2s in Chicago that they're having. That's already winter. I mean, if it's in September in Chicago, it's winter.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. We're back on the road. That's why you see all these banners behind me. I'm playing with setups and stuff. I'm excited. I'm like a kid in a toy store.
Let's see if I can get this thing working right.
Well,
My slide is throwing me off. I got it. I got it.
Good morning. Yeah, it takes a little CPU. And, of course, this is for the collective, their brand new grand opening spot. Super excited to be there. Jax loves the store. Can't wait to get there. I'm going to see Chuck for the first time in almost 2 years. We haven't seen him since the last MegaCon that actually went. We haven't had a MegaCon either. And this summer, we have MegaCon again.
Awesome. Well, of course, we also have, if you want to know more about the convention scene, check out conventionscene.com. We want to keep up on those cons since we're starting to see it opening back up, which is great to see.
Yeah. Comic Book School welcomed Tom and Jamal to talk about creating comics. It was a great time. You guys got to check it out. Click the link. The video's in there. Check it out and join the actual Comic Book School creative community on their forums as they have a big guest. Stay tuned later in the show. We'll tell you who's coming up just this week.
That's right. Stay tuned. And you want to take this one, Rob?
Yes, I will say this. This is, and I'll even here. This has nothing to do with C. This is my personal opinion here. And because I run the news, I get to put things in the news. Someone should tell Comics Gators to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, as it proves why diversity in comics is needed, wanted, and important. I think that was an amazing representation of beautiful storytelling where it mixed a lot of different ideas together. So I'm super excited to see what Marvel comes up with next. Their writing is just top notch. I've been amazed by it. And I do think that that show in particular has answered the question that Comicsgate keeps asking: why is diversity important? Well, this was your answer, guys. I came this close to saying movement over, but I know they won't give up even when proven wrong. So I didn't bother.
I will say this much: these Disney Plus shows have actually opened up the world for other people who were like, superheroes, blah. But you can see now that it doesn't always have to be superhero fight bad guy, and you know. So I have a 15-year-old daughter who was not interested in comics whatsoever, and is now interested in seeing the rest of the MCU. So kudos to them for that. Now also Aaron Henry Jordan presents Wolfsbane issue 1. In this traumatic tale, 2 detectives must save their town from a vicious beast and themselves. Hurry over there, guys. It ends on May 10th. So check it out. And y'all did that on Backers Pause?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I actually believe they're ending soon, so get on it quickly.
Yes.
New series to start in June. This is from Star Runner Comics. Attacked, Aurora faces a new unexpected threat in Dark Star issue number 1. Preview artwork from Leo Cordero, Carlos Eduardo, and Mohan Zavakam. All right, that one I tapped to. I
think it's Sivakami. I'm not sure.
There we go. Like that's better than mine. Go to StarRunnerComics.com to find out more.
All right. And Falcon and Winter Soldier's big cameo actor was supposed to debut in Black Widow. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the cameo was pretty interesting. I'm going to see what they're going to do with that person coming on, and this even makes me want to see Black Widow more so, just because I want to see what was supposed to be the very first premiere of this character. So if you haven't checked it out, be sure, maybe if you want to wait till Black Widow comes out, watch Black Widow and then go watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. But you're missing out if you wait for, you need to go watch Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And that was from comicbook.com. This is Daytona Beach Convention, Comic Convention. It's coming back finally after a year off. This will be September 18th and Sunday the 19th. Both days start at 10 a.m., 5 p.m. for Saturday, 4 p.m. for Sunday. This is the original and longest running comic book, toy, and collectible convention in Daytona Beach, Florida area. It's going to be it's in D-Land, which I'm not sure if that continues to be Daytona. Maybe it should be D-Land Beach. But it's a great show no matter what. It's worth investing your time into. I am excited to see the new location. It's going to be at the Volusia County Fairgrounds. I'm sure I'm saying, I moved to Florida. I don't say anything right. I've got that New Yorker tongue. I'm like Houston Street, right? And some people go for anyway.
Oh my gosh, don't come to Louisiana. I will tell you this much: at the northern part of Louisiana, they have to teach them French to understand what we're saying down here in the southern part.
Wow.
So, Life with Diabetes comic book style. This is from Healthline.com. Diabetes Mind examines how comic books and graphic novels can make a difference for those who live with diabetes. I have a few family members that are diagnosed with diabetes. It's quite serious. And just because it's common doesn't mean it's any less serious.
Target.com now has the ability for you to pre-order Soulstream, which, by the way, is a Scoot comic. So Scout Comics, or at least Scoot for now, and I'm sure more is coming with this, is now going to be available at one of the biggest retailers in the United States, Target.
All right.
So pretty big news there.
Yeah.
Scout keeps making those moves.
The other thing about Target is you can go check out Target. They've got a really interesting geek section at Target, believe it or not. So
in the back near their electronics and TVs, they have Funko Pops, collectibles. It's pretty interesting. Actually,
they have stuff I've never seen. In fact, if you ever see my wife, her little Coraline doll came from Target, believe it or not. So Strongsville comic book creator realizes dream as Stealth Hammer issue 1 hits shelves. Resident of Northeast Ohio can pick up a copy at Carol and John's comic book shop located in Cleveland's Cam's Corners neighborhood. If you want to know more about that, go to cleveland.com. If you're in the area, go pick up issue and support independent creators, guys.
New releases this week from Scout Comics. They give you the rundown of what came out in their newsletter. Make sure you subscribe so you can get the Scout Comics newsletter today.
I think we just got joined by someone. Should we add them in?
I never know why she doesn't let herself in. She's got the keys. I never know what to do.
She's not trying. She doesn't want to be. She doesn't want to be.
I would just come in, bitches. Daddy's home.
Hey, you guys, it's been a hot minute.
Meredith's now in the antique section. She'll be going over all the antiques that she's brought for us to see. This is now the road show.
It matches my my white hairs now. I'm still moving. Give me a break. I have everything in boxes.
Send your items to Meredith so she can appraise them. And keep them.
And eBay them. Because I am poor now.
Yeah, moving's expensive.
Oh
man.
my God. You don't even know. I only moved like 1.5 miles down the road. And it's just like, oh, well, you need a reactivation fee. Or you need a hookup fee. I'm like, I've been paying my bills on time for 3 years. You guys want to give me a break? No. Anyway, back to the news, you guys. I didn't want to disrupt.
Oh, they did. Hey, why don't you go ahead?
All right. Well, we've got comic book preview. Star Wars Dr. Aphra #9. Star Wars Dr. Aphra #9 is coming out Wednesday, and we've got the official preview of the issue for you here, courtesy of Marvel Comics, and that's at flickeringmyth.com.
All right, and this is more from Scout. April Scout Comics subscription box contents are now live. The headliners this month are 2 limited edition sub-box variant covers for Children of the Grave #4 and Grom, which stands for Galactic Rodents of Mayhem #1. The Ashcan preview this month is Black Caravan's Count Droko Knuckle Duster. There will also be a few more surprises, including 3 Scout metal covers announced just before the cutoff day on the 25th, so stay tuned. Oh boy, does that mean I'm going to get my box soon?
Mm.
And just in some geek news from comicbook.com, a Harvard professor explains what we need to do when the aliens arrive. Run, grab weapons, get ready for it to go very badly. Someone who can travel here in a spacecraft is going to look at us like ants. Run! That's not what the Harvard professor said.
I think the aliens have been here for a long time, but that's
Okay.
just me.
Here's my question, though. We got a Harvard professor here explaining what to do when aliens arrive. Isn't that what Trump was doing? Wasn't that what's called Space Force? Everybody wanted to make fun of him about Space Force, but now we're talking about what to do when aliens arrive? Come on.
They've been here, guys. They've been here. All right. They're hiding under the ice in the Antarctic.
That's why they're getting mad. The ice keeps going away. They're like, shit, man. Move the
We got to play. Yeah, we got a place. We have to find a new place to hide.
crap. Someone go kill that polar bear. He's getting in our way. He's going to
I do know some people who are questionable. You know, they could be alien. You never know.
I think preachers are all aliens trying to convince us to join their evils. They're all.
The opinions expressed on this podcast.
We did play the disclaimer, right? I know I'm like a half an hour late.
Mind you, I'm not saying I disagree, but
Is this my turn or
yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, so we are just under 2 weeks until the launch of the 13th Labor, and we are super excited with the response we have had so far. The first 2 issues are fully completed, and we are raising funds to get this into print. So we hope you will join us on this journey by clicking the link above and select Notify on Launch. If you want to join us live, we will also be doing a live launch on the 6th of May.
I like that artwork right there. Very dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of good artwork, Boom Studios releases Power Rangers #6 this coming Wednesday, and you can get yourself a sneak peek at the issue right here on flickeringmyth.com. That looks like Mateo Scalera's art right there. Note for Black Science.
And Rob Molinari has an actual interesting story that's going to be in Anthony Christo's new book that just came out, I believe it was The Tavern. We were just helping it with crowdfunding, or it was like The Inn or something like that. But that was pretty exciting to see two creators getting together and working together. And he's got a cool, interesting little story going on. So congratulations, by the way. He's successfully funded on his crowdfunding campaign. And congratulations to Rob to diversifying his actual portfolio and showing he can do more than just werewolves.
And this is a comic book preview, Batman versus Ra's al Ghul, number 6. The 6th and final issue of Batman versus Ra's al Ghul is out this coming Tuesday. Did that pass? Was that?
Yeah,
oh, anyway.
And
you can check a sneak peek at the issue right here. Go to flickeringmyth.com to find that link.
Let me ask you a question. So is it Roz or Rosh?
I would say Ra. Apostrophe S.
Believe it or not, there is a huge debate on whether or not you say Ra or Rosh. So.
Okay.
All right. You can pre-order Black Cotton number 4 using diamond code May211669. Elizabeth deals with being a victim of police shooting and the smear campaign that Jaleesa Cotton has unleashed to discredit her character. Meanwhile, Xavier Cotton and his girlfriend Zenith face rising racial tensions at school.
The pandemic ravaged the comic book industry, shuttering stores and actually making Diamond lose its monopoly. I don't know if that's in the title, but that's a fact, actually. BusinessInsider.com covered this, as experts believe the comic book publishing is poised to emerge stronger post-pause as new opportunities are presented to a fresh group of fans. And let's be honest, crowdfunding is a huge reason that there has been this new uptick in it. So you got to give you credit to Kickstarter and Indiegogo, which Indiegogo still owes me money, but I'll give them credit despite them owing me money.
Oh, wow.
Still shade. Always be shade.
I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at there. And this is from Wendy Gale, who shares this. A while back, I promised to introduce the characters from my upcoming book, Marauders Masquerade, one by one. Then my laptop died. I know the pain. Now I have a new laptop, so here we go. This is Ham. And if you could scroll down there a little bit.
I got to go all the way over here to this little scroll bar.
So this character is Ham.
And yeah. There we go.
A large, burly, brown-skinned man, short, dark hair, clean-shaven, mid-30s. Ham is a bit of a mystery. He returned to camp with Maddie a few years back. She said he wouldn't take no for an answer. He seemed to need somewhere to go. All right.
Okay.
Character development. I love it.
Comic book preview, Batman / Fortnite, 0 point number 1. DC Comics and Epic Comics' Batman / Fortnite 0 point crossover kicks off this past Tuesday, and you can check out a preview of the first issue where, of course, at flickeringmyth.com. So from now on, you can start saying when you see Batman, hey, it's the guy from Fortnite.
I do think that, like, just as a quick heads up, I think it's fantastic to see these crossovers with video games. I think it benefits all companies involved.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond a shadow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The Fortnite's full of it. So,
yeah.
So this is from the Southwest Florida Con. Over 125 vendors will be at our show next weekend. We have vendors coming from Miami, Atlanta, Knoxville, and St. Louis. It's going to be awesome. I think we also have somebody from Weekended that's going there, right?
You know, a little mention, guys. I put you on the news. Just local talent. Local talent. Me and Mike Seeley are going to be there. Come on. Meredith, if she ever got on PAX, is more than welcome to come down that weekend. We haven't had a chance to talk about where Continuum Comics is going, but we're planning to be all over this summer. So you're going to get tired of us. That's the goal, to be tired of us, so you'll back our campaign so we don't go to as many shows. Go, create more comics.
That's not going to happen. Rob, you're already chomping at the bit. You're like, more, give me more.
You have no idea. You'll see in a few minutes exactly why I am chomping at the bit this weekend.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, 10 things only comic book fans know about the Contessa. The addition of Contessa to Falcon and the Winter Soldier was an exciting surprise. But what information are comic book fans privy to about Valentina?
Ooh.
I guess you're going to have to tune in to find out.
I know.
That's at screenrant.com.
Industry publisher illustrator to share experiences during upcoming comic book roundtable. Check it out over on journalnews.net. Poor Spider-Man looks like he's in a corner all by himself. Oh, he's hanging from the glass. That's what it is. Sorry, that's Martin's.
It's like, what exactly is he doing? Okay.
This is some sad news, but it's also interesting. I bet you don't know who Joey Hummel is. She was the first woman to write Wonder Woman, and actually had to write Wonder Woman under an assumed identity at first, so they didn't know it was a woman. We lost an icon this past week. This will, of course, be part of our in memoriam in 21, and just amazing early work. Shows that women have been part of comics. The next time someone argues with you out there, anyone watching this, and says, well, women just got into comics, bullshit. Women have been in comics since day one. Don't ever accept that. This is brought to us, by the way, by Yahoo News. So
hey, it was a woman that killed Superman. Just remember that.
I don't think you're helping the cause there.
No, but come on, that's one of the highest selling comic books of all time. You want to talk about Dan Jurgens' art in that, but Louise Simonson added so much to that, and it was such a brilliant way to market a book that was on the brink of dying. And so we need to give her credit, as much credit as that. Yeah, she killed Superman, but golly, she did it with class.
In all fairness, I'd argue the fans killed Superman until that point. They literally, DC showed you, well, if you're not going to pay attention to your toy, we're going to take it away. And oh my God, were there feelings all over the floor.
Well, but that was never really they really weren't going to kill. She was kind of shocked by how big it got, because she's like, well, we're going to bring it back. It's not like we're just going to kill off one of the biggest properties for DC.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, but see, that attests to how brilliant it was what she did. So
it also goes back to the whole New York when Coca-Cola changed their formula back in the 80s. For those old enough to remember, New Coke. I actually liked New Coke. And at the time, if I remember correctly, there was Coca-Cola Classic and New Coke at the same time. They threw a fit, hated it. People sent them in. If you go read the articles, there were people who hadn't drank Coke for 30 years. Sound like comic book fans you might know. Complaining you can't change the formula. It has to stay the same. Coke bowed down. I still to this day think that they did it on purpose, just again, to take the toy away from people. Sometimes you got to remind people what they have and what they don't have. And I guarantee you, when they brought back the other formula, they called it the original one, but I still don't taste the cocaine. I'm telling you, when I was a kid, there was cocaine in it. Now there's not. They took the cocaine away.
All the fun.
No, you're talking about that. I'm looking at Meredith's face. It's like she's looking at you. Yeah, New Coke, Rob? Really? Really?
New Coke. No. I was one of those people, but I was a big Coke drinker at the time. So Flying While Black, 2 creators on inventing and reinventing Black superheroes. We asked Eve L. Ewing and Evan Narcisse to share perspectives on the politics of being a Black comic book writer and the Black superheroes you may have missed. This was in the New York Times, but here's the thing. There are Black superheroes. They've been around. I'm glad to see more, but
well, the article is kind of interesting because it talks about taking away from the old tropes of and the Winter Soldier and what is it?
Come on, you forgot Falcon.
No, there's a reason I'm being careful because of today. I didn't want to, So
no, she came in late, so she didn't see.
Yeah.
Falcon, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No, there was something today in this story, and I'm trying to keep my head straight with it. I don't want to give any spoilers. We'll leave it at that. But what they're talking about, and they talked about that, is like we had a lot of characters that were suddenly like Black. It was like, it's got to be Black Captain America, Black Falcon, Black this, Black that. And they're talking about changing the entire industry and writing from a different perspective. I actually really liked the article. I think it was really good, and I think it's worth the read.
Well, because they were doing that with women, too. It's just like all of a sudden women are taking over all the superheroes. Like, why? Why can't we just have our own,
I think that's what they're talking about in this article, making brand new characters, not just taking something that's been there. Like with Ironheart, the original idea was, I believe, to make her Iron Man. And the creator said, no, let's make a new character. And I appreciate that. I appreciate when someone makes it. Doesn't mean you can't pass down mantles, but it's one thing to make someone Batman. It's another thing that you make them Bruce Wayne. And that's, I think, the argument you're making. If you suddenly made Bruce Wayne like Barbara Wayne, like that changes things in a fundamental way that does kind of beg the difference. Like, what do we just do? Why?
I'm still on hold with what they're doing with Thor. I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I don't know what I don't know, so I will.
That's gonna make sense.
Yeah, because remember, Thor can lose the hammer. He's already lost it in the first movie.
Yeah, it's gonna make sense.
See, and I get that. It's the hammer. I get the hammer part, but Thor, isn't that his name?
Well, no, because if you look at the hammer, the thing about it is whoever possesses it has the power of Thor. So that's what the whole thing is, and it's going to make sense. I get where you're coming from.
I hope so, because like right now I'm just like, I don't like it.
And originally in the comics, there was a human that became Thor, and they weren't actually the god of Asgard. That got retconned later, but the original Thor that they had was a guy who had a cane, and he would become Thor, kind of like Shazam.
Yeah.
So that kind of got ruined when they made him like really the real Thor. So it's kind of weird. And then Thor became Thunderstrike for a while. Remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah, and there are so many reboots that it's really hard to find the Genesis story of any of these guys anymore.
I'll put it this way: a woman becoming Thor isn't the weirdest person that's become Thor.
No, not at all.
We're going to
just give me Loki. I love Loki. All right.
Next weekend on Weekend, we're going to talk about frogs' rights. And a lot of people know. And a lot of this also comes back with we're revisiting Milestone Comics. They're coming back out again, and they do get passed over a lot. So,
and who's got this one?
I'll take it. The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, #1. This Wednesday sees the launch of The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, a new series from Ram V and Felipe Andrade. Check that out, guys, on FlickeringMyth.com.
Heather Antos leaves Valiant Comics for IDW's Marvel and Star Wars comics. This is a pretty big shift. If you followed Heather Antos, has definitely been someone who is, like her, love her, hate her, she has made an impact in the industry. Her leaving Valiant after Valiant has had such a horrible year, you gotta feel bad for them. Vin Diesel movie comes right out at the beginning of the pause, and no one's really heard from Valiant since then. We hope they're, of course, rebooting and getting stronger, but to see her leaving, that's not a good thing for Valiant, because now you wonder what the direction is. We hope that they survive. That they took a hit with that movie not doing well. That's never good when you have a major box office movie flop. Just ask the comics.
No, I didn't see the movie. Did you? I mean, was it good, or was it because of circumstances?
Oh man, don't ask. I didn't see the whole thing. Let's just leave it that way.
Oh no.
Let's just leave it at that. I saw a bootleg one that was so much better with the guy, the Green Ranger from Jason Frank. There was an actual YouTube one. It was so much better, but Vin Diesel's not Shakespeare. I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, that is true.
I heard something on TV the other day talking about how Vin Diesel's just a new version of Telly Savalas. I was like, Telly Savalas still had charm.
Telly Savalas was a badass. Come on.
Don't ever say that. Don't you ever compare that.
I did. I promise I didn't. I was like, no. It just doesn't work.
Vin Diesel is a closer comparison to Mr. Clean. He has the perfect role as Groot because he is perfect at Groot because he doesn't have to say a lot. The less
you have to be careful there too. Now you know who Mr. Clean was based off on, right?
No.
Yul Brynner. So
was he really?
King and I, yes. So you don't want to touch that either. There's a lot of
Interesting.
Vin Diesel, you're just Vin Diesels. Keep driving cars, talk less, and we'll all be happy. Don't go into superheroism. Stay a tree. You're good as a tree, Vin Diesel. I'm just saying Dave Bautista is a better actor than you, and that's saying a lot.
Moving forward here, we have Pierre Martinez. Eat the Shadow. That is amazing art there, by the way. So writer-creator at Eat the Shadow is sharing, here we go. We have a release date and finally get to show off this beautiful and downright sexy cover by the mad artist himself, Chris Mad. And now a little something before a bigger something. It's been a bumpy ride to this point, but man, I can wholeheartedly bare my soul in saying this book represents everything I'm aiming to be as a writer. Several reasons for that, but we'll save those for later. All I really want to say now is through the challenges and perhaps because of them, my team and I pulled off something way beyond what I'd expected. I think it shows, and you'll have to be the judge of that. It's hard, maybe impossible, to share every bit of what's going into any given project, the trials and doubts, the energy, blood, sweat, and tears, and all that. I only hope that when you read this book, you can feel the passion behind it. Anyway, I'm excited to share more and truly can't wait for you to check it out. Pierre Martinez, this is Eat the Shadow. Go check it out.
Take a look at that again.
Now, where is the link for this?
That's a good question.
There is none, but obviously you can go to Caliber. You can go to Caliber Comics, and I believe this is going to be in previews of its Caliber Comics, and they're doing the issues. So yeah, I don't know why there wasn't a link for it. There just wasn't. I even checked the comments. It was a share though, so maybe during a share a link was missed.
Yeah.
All right, Marvel Poster Book collects work of legendary comics artist Alex Ross. Alex Ross is doubtlessly one of the greatest comic book artists alive, and he's releasing a book filled to the brim with glorious prints. If you don't know who Alex Ross is, you need to find out. That's all I can say. But I can't imagine that you would be in comic books and not know who Alex Ross is. Of course, he does some of this most phenomenal art. I think he started, if I remember correctly, he did Kingdom Come, wasn't it, for DC years ago?
He definitely did it, yeah.
Yeah, and then Marvel's version of that, Marvel's. So check that out at screenrant.com.
This is another one. All right, we're going to try with Puppin.
Yeah, there you go.
From Loud Mouse Crew Comics and nothing more, but I thought the name was funny, so it got here. I don't know if Poupon is a comic. I don't know if Poupon is the knight. I don't know if Poupon goes on your sandwich, like, Grey Poupon. I don't know, but I thought it was fun to have that on. So just because they made me laugh and I get to pick the stories, they wound up on this show. So Poupon on.
If I could, looking at some of the hashtags, I see Greek manga, Greek comics. So is it Greek? Maybe that's why.
Interesting.
You don't hear too much from Greece, so.
Zack Snyder reveals Green Lantern actor from Justice League deleted scene. And you can find that on comicbook.com.
And they didn't show that. In that entire Snyder cut, they never showed who the actor was.
But Lantern was in it, though, right? There was a Green Lantern, wasn't there?
There was two Green Lanterns, if I'm not mistaken. One that gets killed at the beginning, and they kind of hint to the fact that there's going to be another Green Lantern coming towards the end, if I remember correctly. And I don't want to get too into it because some people might have not seen it. Because, 4 hours, that's so much to watch after watching 8 hours of Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Oh, look, another one.
Poupon! It's Pouponin! All right, I'll read this one. So,
all right.
Comic book preview. Superman Red and Blue 2. DC Comics releases Superman Red and Blue #2 this Tuesday, which is past. And we've got the official preview for this issue right here for you guys now, coming to you from flickeringmyth.com. Check out our boy in Red and Blue.
Right. Let's see. Okay. There's still time to back one of the most stylish, drop-dead gorgeous comics out there. 90s Batgirl legend Ricky Carolero returns to the world of comics with the stunning reboot of his mega popular comic book, Double Impact. Joining High Impact Comics on his latest Kickstarter for Double Impact, Ghosts No More, over on Kickstarter.com. So go to Kickstarter and look up Double Impact, or come over here to Comics Newswire and just click that link.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Mine? Okay. 87-year-old comic book artist reportedly making millions selling NFTs? What? Go to comicbook.com to find out more.
Really quick around the room. Who's a fan of NFTs? I am not.
I'm on the fence.
I don't know enough about it. I was reading an article earlier this week about how they're making it seem like it's a big thing, but the way that they're doing the averages is really funny. So I don't know. I mean, that being a digital artist, I kind of get it for the most part. But
for me, I think it's a matter of, I think it's a way of also tracking, like instead of a barcode, you attach a token to it.
Yeah. I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you. So,
as a content creator, it makes me nervous to see people now claiming something that's not their IP. Legally speaking, that's a weird slope, because I have artists working on my IPs, and I always give the artist the right to the original art, but not in an ownership way like that begins to almost put a this is mine now. No, still not yours. It's based upon my IP. We'll have to see where that winds up. I do think there should be a way that they can make money off of it digitally, but not at the creator's ownership expense, is my point.
Well, see, now we got to start also bringing into where do the writers fit in as far as that's concerned too, because it's still the writer who makes, like, say, if you're doing panels, comic book art that actually goes in the book, those panels were written by somebody. Those ideas still belong to that person as well too. So you really kind of get into that. So there's a whole bunch of questions, and it's a lot of murky water right now that'll get either it will get tossed out or get waded through. One of the two. But this won't get tossed out. This is from Russ Leach. Latest. Coming in August, Only Death Can Save Us will be serialized in floppy format. The book has found a home at Arrow Comics 4.0 and will be distributed by Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group. The crowdfunded version of the book will continue to be the definitive version of the IP, but will continue to be a limited run. You can still grab a copy of the original book at Indiegogo, and the campaign for Book 2, Techstone, will be following this summer, with Arrow taking the book to the direct market in 2022. This is a great time to be indie and to show the world how great comics are.
Falcon and Winter Soldier's cameo debut causes a comic book price spike. No shit, said the comic book creator. The surprise cameo appearance in the most recent episode of the Falcon and Winter Soldier has caused the character's comic debut to jump up in price. Of course, this is why, as creators, it's so important for us to see our IPs become something bigger, because it opens doors. It actually makes comics more valuable. It raises the stock of everything to do with comic books. And again, like we were talking about earlier with C, you start opening a kid's imagination, eventually they go to comic books because they want to start to learn more and more about these. They don't understand how many comics some of these characters have, but it's still awesome. Just imagine, I'm a fan of something like Harry Potter. I only have 7 books. I'm going to get through those in about a few months, right? I like Captain America. Holy shit, I'm going to retire and still not have caught up with every book America's been in. I don't understand the complaints. There's so much. Yes, there's so much you could never get bored. You could spend your life collecting comics about one character, especially with the crossovers and the special appearances. I love this. This proves a point that comics have value.
But you know what? You're also seeing here that you're seeing two medias working together to promote the other one. Because even still, before the Captain America or even Iron Man, for that matter, came out, there wasn't as big of an interest. You didn't see as many shirts. You didn't see all this, and that interest spiked when the movies came out, and it helps. It helps both ways. It's kind of I don't want to say a seesaw effect, but kind of in a way.
But I mean, there's so much in the entertainment industry that all work together. Whether it's video games, you guys were talking about that earlier. Video games, crossovers, music that goes into those video games, art, characters, all of those things. They all work together, and then you get a character that really catches fire, and all of a sudden you see it on the little screen or the big screen, and it encompasses all of that, all in entertainment. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah. Speaking of entertainment,
let's see, what do we have here? Upcoming comics, April 20th from 21. Batman news. Welcome back to Upcoming Comics, everyone. Insert hilarious 420 joke. Wonder why. Smoke them if you got them, people. We're still working on the poll, but everything else seems to be in ... I guess you have to go to batman-news.com to find out more.
is that why Superman's eyes are red there? Yeah.
I didn't see anything that they could munch. Like, what about the munchies? Hey.
They're feeding their mind. That's what.
Oh, good one, see, good one.
All right, this is from Josh Harris. Here's a video in case anyone missed this trailer for that sci-fi comic I'm part of, Heavens Decoded. Check it out. It's going to be on Kickstarter.com. Can we play this trailer?
I don't think it will play. I didn't check it. You could try. I don't think it'll play on our site because Facebook did something where they're blocking videos from playing now out on their site.
We can't share too much out there.
Yeah, heaven forbid. You have to go back to Facebook. Comic studies Dracula and the changing face of the comic industry. From metaphor to monster and back again, Dracula embraces his historic legends and modern sensibilities in equal measure. And this is an article brought to us by monkeysfightingrobots.co. And it's an interesting look at how comics and Dracula has changed over almost 100 years. That's right. We're getting close to 100 years of comic books. Super excited about that.
And this is from Dwayne Robinson Jr., Nightfall, Michael's Awakening, main villains, Lucius Vash, the villainous ruler and grandfather to Michael. On the left, you're going to see Dakin, the mysterious sorcerer. On the right, Lucian, the adopted son of Lucius. And see them more in our Nightfall, Michael's Awakening. You can go to Animation Comics ENT.com to find out more.
All right. Was DC's Karate Kid accidentally drawn the wrong way for years? In the latest comic book Legends Revealed, discover how Karate Kid wasn't drawn the way he was intended in the comics for a decade. What are they talking about? But check it out at CBR.com. If it's any consolation, I didn't even know Karate Kid was in comics, so I wouldn't have noticed.
This is brought to us by Fabio. This is from Wingless Comics. The hero named Justice is actually an archangel named Othniel. His elephant.
Elohim.
There we go. Lion of Justice, called the left hand of God and commander of the Felix Legion. His quest to find the voice of God, which has gone missing. Foregoing paradise, Justice crossed through the firmament to save existence. To save heaven, he'll go through hell. Justice, issue 2, is going to be on Kickstarter on May 18th.
10 new comics, not from Marvel or DC, you should be reading. There are other comic companies out there. No, really? Some independent. What? Others trailing right behind DC and Marvel, who are publishing truly great comics. Indeed, they are. Find out who they are on CBR.com.
Trailing right behind them. Of course, this is again from Aaron Humphreys. I'm going to end up having to talk to Aaron Humphreys. Godlings is up on Webtoons. Check it out here. So if you've been following Aaron and his ongoing comic he's been doing for years now, go over to Webtoons and go look for Godlings.
But what if I'm new and I don't know what Godlings is?
Well, that sounds like we need to talk to Aaron about it.
I don't know what Godlings is.
Just saying, like, Aaron, if you know people who showed up to the Webtoons, that ad was for the people who weren't, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speak to us like we don't know who you are.
Because I really don't, Aaron. I've seen your stuff, but I don't know what Godlings is. Always put that pitch in there, that quick pitch.
Yeah.
Who's up?
You are.
I am? Okay.
Yeah.
Second Animorphs graphic novel recreates iconic animal transformations. Scholastic's graphic novel adaptation of the Animorphs book series continues with a second volume, The Visitor, releasing this October. Go to screenrant.com to find out more about it.
Before there was Harry Potter, there was Animorphs, I think, right? I remember this. They had like the holographic cover on the novel. It was weird. It never interested me to read it, but it was weird.
No!
That was an easy one. Let's move on. This is from Evan Posios, where he quotes Metallica. Silence, fall 2021 from Second Sight Publishing. All right. There we go.
Not much to go by there. Again, give us a pitch. Give us a pitch, you guys.
Yeah, I don't know if we can really recite Metallica lyrics.
You can out loud, actually.
Okay.
Ooh, signing into Twitter. Let's all write down that password. It's finally our time to say what we really mean. From the comic book preview, the Mighty Valkyries #1 are here, and they've got babies in hand. The Mighty Valkyries ride into action this Wednesday as Marvel launches in its new series, and you can check out a preview right here at flickeringmyth.com and see the baby attack for yourself.
I see somebody that is sitting over their court, and it looks like Loki's going to be in there. So if you're a Loki fan, you want to check that out too.
This is from Daphne Lage. We're $53 away from unlocking the sticker stretch goal. Support Tall Tales Thieves Quest Volume 1, collecting issues 1 through 5 of the long-running furry fantasy comic today. They're on Kickstarter right now. Head over there.
All right, another comic book preview, Justice League #60. DC Comics has unveiled the official preview of Justice League #60 ahead of its release this past Tuesday. Check it out here. Go over here at flickeringmyth.com.
And here you go, Catch the Crazies, April 29th. That's just 6 days away. They're already on a third issue. It's crazy. I didn't have anything to read there, so it was
They were shaved.
Isn't that from Vera Sam?
It's from
Sam Vera.
Whichever.
Okay.
He says Vera Sam on Facebook. That's what we're going to go with.
All right. Marvel's What If concept art turns Gamora into the Mad Titan.
What?
What's that about?
Oh my gosh.
We've yet to get an official release date for Marvel's What If, but in the past few weeks have ... Find out more at comicbook.com.
All right.
I
think that What If is going to be an animated series on Disney Plus, which is based off of the What If comic, where they used to do things like what if the Hulk killed Wolverine or things like that. So
I like those things, the concepts and stuff. It really helps with the just throwing ideas at the wall, and seeing what sticks.
It's going to be fun, especially because a lot of the voice actors, if not all of them, are returning to voice their characters. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be neat. Mm-hmm. And of course, also something that's neat is Sunday Comics Brunch. What did you learn in the pause? We talked about this past week, what we learned during this whole supervillain pandemic thing. And maybe some things were said about Zack Snyder's Justice League, but some things we just don't regret, and we keep moving on.
How cool is
this? Oh my gosh, I saw
they
this yesterday.
Put a QRC code in the sky for everyone to be able to put up their cameras. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. We've seen stuff like this in Blade Runner. These were used. Drones did this. Imagine being able to put up your phone to the sky and watch a new video, a breaking trailer for Justice League 15. Snyder comes back. Like all the things that you could wind up seeing in that.
We saw a preview of this at the last Olympics when they had all of the drones coordinated and stuff like that, doing beautiful things in the sky. And so not surprised, but those QR codes, you have to be exact. So that really speaks to the technology that's going into these things these days.
when it speaks to me, it says scary. That's what that says to me.
They're watching you.
I see John Hurt and freaking Orwell. Anyway, John Wilson presents Pneumatic Cases number 1 through 3, Sleuthing Steampunk Spouses, and a third issue in a steampunk mystery comic miniseries, a story of deduction, seduction, death, and pistons. Ends May 30th, 2021. So y'all want to get over there and get it while you can. That's at Kickstarter.com.
And Rob, this has your name on it.
Literally.
It actually does. Here we go. Physical shows coming back. That's right. In September, you'll have Florida SuperCon. New York Comic Con returns in October. December gives us not just C2E2, but Emerald City Comic Con. Panel registration is open. Artist Alley is now open. You can actually apply to be part of it. They do warn everyone that they're still probably going to have to be following social distancing protocols. They don't really go into a lot of detail about it, but I'm guaranteeing you it's going to be not the easiest thing for shows like New York Comic Con. Florida SuperCon will probably be easier. Why do I say that? Because depending on where you are, there'll be different sets of rules. Florida, basically, this is a face mask. Do what you want. That's Florida's law right now. It's okay, Johnson & Johnson, just keep taking the shot. Who cares? So that's Florida, but New York has a lot more protocols in place. So stay in touch. Sign up to the newsletter. Pay attention. There are going to be less tickets for New York Comic Con. The pricing of the tables, I will say, is moderately fair. It's nothing. I didn't see them price gouging. Credit to New York Comic Con and Reed Prop. I table for the Florida SuperCon's $300. That was $300 in 2019. $500 for a table for New York Comic Con. I believe that's what they were asking for at the 2020 edition. C2E2, I think off the top of my head, was $500, and Emerald City was $500. That's the difference between a 3-day and a 4-day show. I'm excited. I really hope I can get into New York Comic Con. I don't know. This is going to be a harder year to get in there. We'll see. I'm excited to see the shows come back. Thank you, Reed Pop, for updating us and taking a chance. Because at this point, it's still a chance to try to run these shows, and there could still be loss for it. Thank you for believing in the fact that we'll get vaccinated in time for these things to happen. And I can't wait to get back on the road starting in just a week.
Is this mine or yours, C?
I don't remember.
I'll do it.
Okay.
1939's Batman #1 sells for a record-breaking $1.2 million. That's dollars, folks. The comic book back issue market continues to skyrocket as a copy of Batman #1, graded 8.0, has set a record sales price of $1.2 million. That's on CBR.com.
We're not talking about NLTs here.
I think about some of the things that I had in storage that are long gone at a dump. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, I know the feeling. This is from our buddy Gamal Hennessy. With the return of physical events comes so much we were missing this past year. Supporting small businesses and indie creators more directly, old friends reconnecting, the energy of a panel room when a cast first takes the stage. This is a message from Reed Pop on convention season 2021. So check that out, the business of comic book publishing, or over here on Comics Newswire link, hit the link to take you to the article.
DC to introduce a new Superman, an upcoming Superman, Son of Kal-El. Thank you. Since Action Comics #1 landed in 1938, the character Superman has fought the never-ending battle of truth, justice, and the American way. But now it's up to his son to take up that mantle. This is brought to us by VentsMagazine.com, new to the program.
All right.
Okay. New to
I think I'm the only one who will understand this one. You mind if I grab it?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So this is Autism Awareness Month. This young lady, Paige, is autistic. She does a lot of autism awareness stuff, a lot of great stuff to think about. They are doing an autistic charity on April 30th, which is, I believe, next Saturday. Next Friday. They're trying to build awareness. Apparently, there's another campaign out there to now do pre-screening to basically give you the choice of whether or not you want to have an autistic kid. I know that sounds horrible out loud, right? I have a son who's autistic, who's wonderful, and I would have never, ever in a million years ever wanted to trade any time I had with him because of his autism. So they're trying to build awareness versus a more popular autism foundation that is literally advocating for pre-screening. How horrible is that, to kill a child because they could have autism?
Let me explain something here. Twice, my daughter was tested on one of those tests to see if something was wrong. There's a high chance that comes back almost all the time, but there's a high chance something's going to be wrong. Most of the times, it's not. My son, who is autistic, or who has Asperger's, excuse me, was tested. Said that half of his head was gone. That was what they were trying to push. We went and got tests and everything, and it either one, it miraculously healed and formed, or they were wrong. So you can't trust these pre-screens to be right, guys. Just because they say it's that, because that's what they come. It's science. It's not always the exact science. So don't just believe every pre-screen or whatever. It's a human life. That's how I'm sorry. And that's my opinion for the day. It's a human life. F you. That's how I feel.
I agree. My son had one of those moments. He could have been, because he has Jewish ancestry, not religious, but like from Israel. He's like has that kind of blood in him. Yeah. And there's a weird disease that can really, like, the kid gets born and dies 5 days later type of moment. And they're like, well, he's a candidate. Do you want to take this special blood thing? And I'm like, well, let's say that he has that. What percentage would it be that he'd have it that bad? And then they start going into these number things. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. It was like at 16 weeks, and that's right near the cursor of you can't do abortions anymore. At least it was when Jax was born. I was like, let me get this straight. So you're going to turn around and tell me that there's a chance that he might have it, and then there's a chance he could be born and die 5 days later, or I could kill him now based upon statistics. And I looked right at the doctor and said it that way, and the doctor said, yeah, that's basically it. I'm like, I'm not killing my son. This conversation's over. And my ex was upset, crying, and she was like, she followed me with it. But why would you tell a mother that? I mean, unless you can guarantee something, don't say those things. Because my son, 6-year-old now, happy, smiling kid. Just imagine,
besides having the baby during pregnancy, you also have the baby at least for 5 days anyway.
Right.
If something happens. So you still have that. But it's better to have that time than no time whatsoever.
Yep. Yeah, you get to meet them, hold them, and you never know. Miracles happen all the time. People will tell you certain things are supposed to happen, and then they don't happen. People survive things. Never give up hope. There's something beautiful. That's why we like comic books, because comics are full of hope.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, we are made of billions of cells, I mean, statistically, something's going to go wrong. In me, I think it's my head a little bit, but hey, that could be the 2 concussions that I had,
I've known some fantastic people who have had quote unquote things wrong with them that brighten up my life just because they're able to persevere. They're living. A lot of these people are living testimonies to living with something and existing and surviving and still being happy. Don't take that away from the world.
I wasn't assessed with Asperger's until I was in my mid-30s, and up until that point, I always felt different. I always felt like an alien. See, I told you, aliens are on this planet. I'm probably one of them. But, it was just one of those things. And when I was assessed, because there isn't a diagnosis for Asperger's, all right? You get assessed. It's like, how functional are you? I cried from relief. I was like, oh, that explains so much. And I'm not alone in this. So it was really kind of cool for me. It was a wonderful experience for me when I finally got assessed. And because of that, I was able to help my son, So there you go. And moving forward here with the news, though, we've got J. Sloan presents Stellar Odyssey #3, The Swordsman and the Gunslinger. Attila Banks and his crew of galactic smugglers are roadblocked by a knight of Bellaterra, while the bounty hunters in pursuit close in. This ends May 13th in 21 at 1 12:01 Eastern. Make sure that you head over to Kickstarter right now and check it out.
Don't wait till 1 Eastern. Get over there now.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is from Scout Comics and Stefano Cordoselli. In shops May 21, Sweet Downfall trade paperback. The pre-order code is MAR211552. Of course, it's a story and art by Stefano Cordoselli, colors Panteria, Leonard and logo, Brea Maheen, editor, Andrea Lorenzo Molinari, because sometimes those editors just don't get enough credit. I am not an editor, so I'm not. As an artist, I'm telling you, editors don't get enough credit sometimes.
Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero actor Joe Tasmili reveals WB massive plan for sequels. Wait a minute, you're talking about a video game franchise that has like 75 games, and they actually intended to have a sequel to one movie? No shit, said the comic book creator.
As long as it doesn't end up like that last Mortal Kombat sequel, we'll be fine. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm hoping it's good. So
I'm on the fence. Do I let Jax watch it or not? It's not like he hasn't played games like Mortal Kombat already. He played the DC versus Mortal Kombat game. Not my choice, that by the way. But once the cat's out of the bag, the cat's out of the bag. The kid likes playing the game. The kid likes playing the game. And I don't think that he can do the moves that these people can do. Like, if he can make one of those things come out of his arm to grab people, I have a different problem than what he's watching.
You know, that's one thing that I have to say, and maybe that makes me a bad parent, but I've never been as hard on censoring violence. To me, desensitizes them. Well, good, because if something bad happens in front of them, I want them to be able to know that they need to get away instead of going, "Oh my gosh, what just happened?" So that's my opinion. Personal opinion on it.
I'll be honest, see, there's something very violent I won't let Jax near. I think that it's very important to keep him away from this particular form of violence. It's called the news. And I don't want him seeing.
Amen. Yeah, exactly.
Well, there you go, Rob. That's got your face on it, too.
I think it'd be funnier in your voice, but fine, I'll do it. Some advice. Stop expecting fairness. Treat people accordingly and never lower your standards for them. The biggest mistake you can make in life is expecting people to be good. Assume every person is a human being capable of both good and bad. Don't expect them to be fair, and don't expect life to be fair. So it's true. It won't be. It won't stop or slow down for you. Understand when people act a certain way, it's not a bad day. They're just showing you who they really are, because anyone can act any way they want on a good day. Anyone can preach about things. But then when shit really goes away, you get to see how scummy of a person they are or how good of a person they are. So when someone identifies themselves, know who they are, acknowledge it, treat them accordingly, and move on with your life. It's great advice. It should be said more often. It's what your parents should have told you. Because I know growing up, everyone's like, well, life's not fair, and that's it. That's where your parents stopped. But no, there's so much more to know at that moment. Life's not fair. Stop expecting it fairness. Treat people accordingly and never lower your standards, because that's what your parents should have told you. Don't stop being a good person because of other people. You be a good person. You rise above. If you believe in heaven, one day you're going to be able to tell your God that I was a good person. If you believe in karma, it makes the world a better place. And if you believe in being part of a society, it makes everything better. You want to prove how much we're in trouble? Go drive on any road on any given day. You'll see how humans are just about themselves. We don't need another person joining that group. Stay yourself. Stay a good person.
Like I always said, in fact, I think commenting on this, just because life's not fair doesn't mean that you can't be.
Yep.
Well, I mean, for the longest time when I was growing up, and things always went sideways, always went sideways. Expect the unexpected type of thing, and I would always say, why me? Why me? And just be so frustrated. And then one day it just light switch. And I was like, well, why not me? And then I realized the only why not me? Why am I so special that can't happen to me? And then I realized, the only thing that I can really control is myself and how I react to things. And that really turned things around for me. It's all about mindset and attitude.
Absolutely.
And I think this is my turn.
Sure.
All right, Sony's Spider-Man, Venom, and more movies going to Disney's streaming platform. I did see a news clip about this that they're going to be exclusively on Disney Plus and I believe Hulu. But you can find out more on comicbook.com.
But see, I'm kind of confused by that because wasn't there some Netflix information? Wasn't there some Netflix release earlier that said that it was going to Netflix?
Not anymore.
Well, now you can catch all your Marvel movies in the same place. So,
and that list was a lot of the Spider-Man franchise. I don't think it was a whole lot.
It wasn't the Fantastic Four film, I'll tell you that. Marvel wants nothing to do with that. Nope, you can keep it, Sony. All yours.
Well, believe it or not, Fantastic Four, even that one is available on Disney Plus. But I remember we had an article stating that it was going to Netflix. I guess Disney came in and undercut them. And this is art.
Actually, some bad news.
Oh, bad news. Oh, my gosh. This is from Monty Michael Moore. Stolen. Please keep an eye out or share this post. This original art was painted live at the San Diego Comic-Con about 20 years ago, was stolen from the collector who purchased the art when his home was broken into this week. If you ever see this original art offered online, please contact me. The painting is 3 to 4 feet tall and painted in brown sepia tones. This was the only painting that ever outsold the Jim Lee art so many years ago. The Bowman by Monty M. Moore. That's a shame.
Wow.
It's a shame.
Keep your eyes open, guys. Let's make sure
Keep your eye open for that. And that is gorgeous.
But you know what's really crazy is the fact that this could have been made 20 years ago. Oh my gosh, has it been that long?
Wow.
Jeez.
This is just yeah, that's a repeated one.
All right.
Radiant Black takes Image Comics' millennial hero to new heights. It proves it is not only a solid superhero book, but an ambitious and heartfelt series with a strong understanding of the medium. This is a review, which I thought was interesting only because it has a millennial hero. I've never heard anyone use millennial hero before, so I was like, let's give this a try. Go out there, guys, see if you want to root for a millennial. By the way, millennials are now in their late 20s to early 30s. Just if you want to feel older, it is 21, and millennials started in the 90s for some reason. I still don't understand that. They were the MTV generation and then became the millennials. But it we started with all these generational stuff. Speaking of generational stuff, here's the story behind the first Black Captain America, which I found fascinating. I never knew about this until the Winter Soldier and Falcon. See, all day it's messing with me.
Well, you know what's interesting about that is when Captain America, when they first talked about doing another Captain America movie, unlike the 70s one and the 90s one, they talked about getting Will Smith. And for people who were in comic book, they kind of understood why that would be the case. And now everybody can go ahead and see that. And it makes a lot of sense. And whether you like it or not, I think they did a great job. And this, of course, is in the Los Angeles Times. So comic books are breaking through.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to the LA Times, apparently.
The Joker quotes.
Oh, look, Rob, it's your favorite.
Well, because I shit on Joker so bad, I figured I was really harsh about how I felt about the movie. And there was one good thing about it, and apparently it was this one quote. So I showed the best thing in the movie here. People nowadays are only nice to you when they need you. And got what they want if they not, this is worded weirdly, they needed you and got what they want. If not, they don't even care for you and appreciate and value you for what you did for them. It's the only good thing about the Joker movie, apparently, was this one quote, which I did find kind of cool. Because, scummy people.
Yep.
And I know a ton of these types. Yeah. And if you're thinking right now, is Rob talking about me? I just want you to know sincerely, yes.
Oh.
Right? If you're thinking that, maybe. You could be on that list. Supergirls in Comics author Mike Madrid discusses the shifting role of female superheroes in American culture. DVCinquirer.com to find out more about that.
And not everyone gets the same version of me. One person may tell you I'm a beautiful soul. Another person may tell you I'm a cold-hearted asshole. Believe them both. I act accordingly. Of course, with the picture of Tom Hardy there.
Getting a theme today, guys.
Okay, we're gonna move past the Spider-Man in the corner.
I was gonna be like, Spider-Man's still in the corner.
He's still at it, whatever he's doing.
Don't ask. Don't walk to the front of the store. Every Superman costume is on display in one stunning cover. The Man of Steel has sported several different looks over the years. The best take, the Spotlight and the variant cover for Action Comics. I do think it's kind of interesting to see all the different looks he's had. I still like the trunks. The trunks were the best. Underwear outside, I'm for it all day. And I expect it goes double for women.
Oh, let's see. What do we have here? Could New York Comic Con get even bigger thanks to this construction, maybe? New York spent $1.5 billion on its convention center. Find out more on NewYorkTimes.com.
So if you don't make it this year, maybe next year. They'll have to fill up the space.
Yeah, that's the thing. With so much extra space, that's why I'm wondering what New York... It depends how much of it is open. It ends May. Construction will be over in May. I'm sure New York Comic Con will be walking it as soon as that are over, and they'll start mapping out what they can. They probably have blueprints now, but you want to go in and look too, because of social distancing. I'm really hoping the bigger convention center makes the numbers closer to a normal show, because supposedly they were supposed to be able to double the occupancy. Wow. So if they just cut it in half, they could still have close to the normal numbers.
Wait, I remember. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yep.
Well, a couple of years back, when they moved the Artist Alley in New York Comic Con, a lot of people were upset by it because it was very crowded and very
well, that was during construction. That was actually.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah. Okay.
This construction is what caused it, but supposedly that Artist Alley can now be 2 floors that used to be there. Like they were talking about having a huge like the biggest Artist Alley in the U.S. could be possible. That was some of the things they were discussing. The fact that there could be double the capacity for panel rooms, double the floor there, and double an Artist Alley all at once. They've added, I believe, 3 floors to Javits Center if they went by the original blueprint. Built an entire new building next to it, which is where the Artist Alley would have been. It used to be like back in a dock section. That they've now built up and expanded into an open lot right next to it and built an entire building. I can't wait to get back to see what they did to it.
My goal is basically to hit New York Comic Con in 22. I've got family up in New York, and it's really take the Northeast corridor into the city and the path. So, and I'll be right there.
Yep, I have no idea what you're talking about.
New York.
Yeah. Y'all can have it. Anyway, Kyle Kaminsky presents Sophia Saturn number 1 through 5, the complete comic miniseries. Want to check it out? Of course, they featured it on Backer Paw, so go see what they got to say. You can also come and click on the link here at Comics Newswire.
By the power of Netflix, Master of Universe series is getting a comic book prequel. That's right. Kevin Smith's actual series with Rob David is launching also a comic book. This is going to be an exciting time if you're a He-Man fan. Remember, He-Man only ran for 2 seasons. It's actually had more seasons as a reboot now than it has as an original series. So that's how much this character mattered to people, that it is now getting to the point of being over 30 years. That's right. He-Man is over 30 years old. And it has an interesting history, too. I bet you didn't know He-Man wasn't supposed to be some white guy originally with blonde hair and blue eyes. Watch the Netflix special about He-Man to find out more.
I grew up watching this. I have the power. Yeah. So, but you know what? The thing is, the people who grew up with this are the ones now making the decisions on what we watch. So, yeah, you remember the 80s, guys? I think that might be coming back just a little bit.
Yeah, now. But of course, there was some that came up afterwards to try to put something out, and it didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
Because they didn't grow up with it. But, whatever. I'm not going to point fingers at She-Ra. I mean, so we'll see what you do, Netflix. We're watching you.
And this is from KJ Kaminsky, right? Did you guys see this one already?
This is Sophia Saturn, so I figured.
Let's see. Marvel reveals a symbiote
Symbiote. Play
Symbiote.
not symbiote.
All right.
Please don't do that one.
You do it, see.
No,
I'm
okay. No, because that was a problem with the Venom movie. They kept calling it symbiote. No, symbiote. I don't care if it's the right way to say it or not. That's how we've been.
What if it's like symbiote?
I don't care.
What if you say the E? Never mind. Go ahead and see. It's all yours.
It's the Italian Venom. Played by Vin Diesel.
Symbiote.
Symbiote.
Symbiote. Okay, now great. I'm gonna get canceled. Thanks. I kind of avoid it all day today, but
I don't think the Italians care. See.
Oh, you think? You think? I think somebody just asked about. Well, what are those Italians? I just freaking threw open the Comicsgate floodgate.
No, Steve, just say no disrespect.
Oh, man,
Right.
Forget about it.
So you're talking to me? You're talking to me?
Marvel reveals Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads exclusive. If Marvel fans were worried that the adventures of Symbiote Spider-Man were coming to a close, who knows? Find out on comicbook.com. And we're going to move on.
All right. So this week, Brian Polito, recipient of the Indie Spirit Award, will be on Comic Book School Interview. He'll be talking about crowdfunding. There's a link right here. It is not Thursday. It is Wednesday. That is a typo. April 28th. Backer Pause is actually being pushed after this, so Backer Pause won't go live till 10 p.m. this Wednesday because we're making room for Brian. Like, let him have our slot. We're not saying a word. 8 p.m. Eastern. If you have a question, join the create.comicbookschool.com community and ask your question today and ask it about crowdfunding.
All right. Well, and what's interesting is I was listening to J.D. Calderon, who does the Oswald Chronicles show the other day, and his question was, who is your Mount Rushmore of indie creators? And if Brian Polito's not on there, you should really ask why not. Because you're talking about a man who has been an indie creator for 30 some odd years, and his character is known and recognizable.
Yep.
So that's valuable information. Get over there and listen. All right, well, I'll take this one. Ra's al Ghul, or Roz, or Raj, or however you want to say it, Ra's al Ghul's most wholesome moments in comics when it comes right down to it. Batman's rival, Ra's al Ghul, isn't all bad, though the good things he does are usually for the wrong reasons. If you want to know what that is or any more about it, check it out at screenrant.com. I love when Ra's al Ghul played Liam Neeson. That was good. Mary?
Star Wars, The High Republic's infographics show evolving approaches to storytelling. Many Star Wars Legends novels included in a timeline in a dramatis persona, I think. Dramatis persona? Or dramatis is new to me. The High Republic era now has infographics to keep track of the story.
And will soon be including a dictionary.
Yeah, apparently.
Hopefully, golly,
I didn't know if dramatics
book.
Is dramatics the Sith of spelling?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'm stupid.
Dramatics.
So that's CBR.com.
Okay. Rob, this has got your name on it. Do you want it or should I read it?
On.
Sorry, fun. If we only knew the whole time that Jim Lee's art was downscaled. That's right. What we were collecting in the 90s couldn't be printed the way he wanted it. Rogue looked even more detailed. And for a 13-year-old boy at the time, I would have loved the extra detail on Rogue. Thank you very much. Damn you, Marvel. Damn you, Diamond printers. You did not give me the detail I wanted. Interesting article. Jim Lee spends the time actually explaining how his art was so, skill level detailed that the printer couldn't print it at that spec level yet.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
This was still back when there was newspaper print back then. That would have been still a newspaper print book.
Mm-hmm.
Now you guys know why we don't do newspaper print.
And what is this? Hawkeye star Jeremy Renner. I love him. Praises cast and crew. And he has some nice words about the cast and crew as filming on the Disney Plus something or other series. Yeah.
Disney Plus series. He just finished, what are they calling it? Hawkeye? Is it Hawkeye and something?
It's just Hawkeye.
Okay, Hawkeye.
It's just Hawkeye, but it's going to be featuring, it's basically him passing the mantle to his daughter. who is an actress. So I
right.
can't remember what her name is. She was in the
Haley?
Bumblebee.
I want to say
Haley Steinfeld or something like that. I can't remember.
Not Seinfeld, but Haley something. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you can find out more on comicbook.com.
All these old newfangled actors, I don't know. So. This is from Gamal Hennessy. A comic creator is developing an app that would notify vendors of conventions and give them the opportunity to book such events from the palms of their hands. It is also expected to allow vendors to track all their expenses and calculate how much they need to sell in order to make a profit. Check that out at startlandnews.com.
I'm sure there's a lot of convention runners nervous about that app. I'm sure that there's the other feature that will also talk about the traffic expected, the median income. Those are things you need to look at when you guys are booking a show. What area are you going to? Is it a college town? What's the traffic? What's the audience? Is there another show bigger than that, close to it? And when is that show? If it's within a month, if you're doing MegaCon or you could do Joe's Garage Con, people are going to MegaCon. They might go to Joe's Garage Con just to do a cleanup. Sometimes after is better than before, by the way. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. People will save their money for MegaCon, and then whatever they had left over they didn't spend at MegaCon, they'll spend at Joe Garage's con. Comicbook.com news. DC is launching a series to continue the Justice League Unlimited cartoon series. I'm excited about this. I was a fan of the Unlimited series. It was really good.
Is Joe's Garage Con a real con? Because I know Florida down there, y'all have cons like left and right.
No, I did a good
I want to go to Joe's Garage Con. That's what I'm saying.
I wanted to pick something real quick off the top of my head, and I started with Joe's, and I was like, fuck, what if there's a Joe's thing? I was like, well, I did GarageCon last year, and I'm the only one I even know who ever called it a GarageCon. So I own that, I think, so I can get away with it without. I'm already getting hate mail from comics here today. See, I don't need to add.
Hey, look! See, that's great. It's a car show and a comic show. So
Right?
I would be worried that the preachers are going to send me a note, but they gave up on me a long time ago. So I'm not worried about the preachers. You know, they have money to take from people, telling them to believe in the things that they believe in. Meredith.
Comic book.
They're always
okay, you got this one.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, see.
Oh no, I'm just saying, just be careful about the preachers. They're always hiding in the walls. Anyway. But comic book preview, Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors #1. The King of the Monsters makes his triumphant return to comics this week with the giant-sized Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors #1. And that's a preview from FlickeringMyth.com. And I don't want to hear anything in the comments about how King Kong got his butt kicked. Thank you very much. Yeah, Steinfeld. That's what I said. Well, yeah.
Emily Clark to make comic book debut in Mother of Madness. And we can just leave this picture here for just a minute. Okay, I'm good. You can scroll.
Doing the eyebrow thing, man. I mean,
we're gonna put you in the window with that Spider-Man, Rob.
Oh my God!
I might have to be. Now, there's a badass woman. I mean, she literally told producers, "I'm not getting naked for you guys anymore because you've misused that privilege," and changed the way women would now handle their roles. I give that chick, like the woman, I'll say, I give that woman a lot of credit. She deserves it, respect,
but
and a beautiful woman.
Right, though. But she did.
What? What's that?
She did get naked again.
No, but it was her choice.
Yeah, but it was all the issue was that she wasn't going to get naked unless it benefited the story.
And it was her call. She actually got it, so it would be her call to choose. Like, she literally had to make the decision whether she felt it worked or not, because she had been taken advantage of so badly. So that's the interesting thing about contracts. You get a good enough lawyer, and you'll find out they can break a contract for you. That's why people like Gamal Hennessy are good people to actually have under your wing. That's why we show him so much on the show. Lawyers can save your ass even in a contract.
Sure. And this is Pop XP's The Week in Pop. Joins hosts Niall Scala, Brian Blevins, Caleb Thuzit, and Jennifer Van Damsel as they talk some of the hottest articles of the week, review Boom Studios' Magic the Gathering #1 comic, chat with special guests, Alterna Comics founder Peter Samedi and creator of Star Circuit Joseph Catapano. So click the link and set that reminder, and be sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel, Pop XP. Give them some love.
All right, welcome to the world of Flagoria. The Traveler is coming soon from Scout Comics, covering all things turning pages and heads. You can check that out at, of course, Comics Newswire, guys.
Ethics in social media advertising? There's no such thing as ethics in advertising. Chuck wants you to put ethics in advertising. Good luck, Chuck. Good luck. There's no ethics in advertising.
Good luck, Chuck.
He actually spent some time trying to give an explanation on all the stuff that you guys should stop doing to each other, the things that you should be doing, and the permissions you should be getting. Remember, consent isn't just a word that you throw around to impress a girl. It's something you should always try to get from people.
Mm-hmm.
I always like to see this picture with Chuck and his pink headphones.
Hey, man.
Commented about it before.
He pulls it off.
Who is Amelia Clark playing in Marvel's Secret Invasion? I guess you'll find out more on comicbook.com.
There you go, Rob.
It's a good day. It's a good day in the office. We've already talked about this one.
All right. Let's move on. Comic book preview. Blade Runner Origins #3. Titans Blade Runner Origins continues this Wednesday. And we've got the official preview of the issue for you here. Take a look at flickeringmyth.com.
Ben Cook sat down with Chuck, and they talked about him being a writer, a musician, a political philosopher. Ben Cook discussed his creations and his ideas. Check out Chuck's Shop Talk on YouTube.
10 best X-Men team rosters in Marvel Comics. The X-Men have gone through many incarnations throughout their history. Of course, some of their rosters stood out more than others. Find out more at ScreenRant.com.
The new class did not make it for good reason.
All right. Dynamite Entertainment releases Red Sonja #26 this Wednesday, and we've got the official preview of the issue for you here. That's right, at flickeringmyth.com.
The Collective, a comic and gaming community, was live at 5:30 the other day with a minimum $1 bid and increasing. Remember, these are the same people who are bringing you that anniversary show with the Cthulhu Invades Oz. Check out The Collective. They do some awesome stuff.
And Michael Keaton now confirmed to return as Batman. What? That's on comicbook.com. He was one of my favorites, I have to say.
Now, here's the interesting. Let me ask you this, Rob. Who is Batman? Who is Michael Keaton playing?
Batman.
No. Is it Bruce Wayne, or is it going to be Thomas Wayne?
No,
That's
I think
the
he's
person
playing
that's out
Batman. I think.
Well,
I
no,
don't
because if you remember, this is Flashpoint. So in Flashpoint, Thomas Wayne actually became Batman. So
No. I get what you're saying. I think he's playing Batman. I think that we're going to see the. And I love him as an actor. I can't believe his name's getting me. I think we're going to see the Negan actor show back up to be Thomas Wayne.
Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes, because they showed him in the Ben Affleck movie as his dad. They already established the Thomas Wayne. I think he's going to be the Batman from a different universe. I think we're going to see Batman Beyond show
Good
up.
point. That's a very.
I think we're going to see Batman Beyond show up. That's what I think we're going to see. Because remember, he's also time traveling in this, trying to fix.
I would love to see that. I would love to see Michael Keaton come back as that character, but put us back in that world because I really like that Tim Burton version of Batman. I really did. So yeah, this would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm all.
I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan could pull it off. Remember the comedian?
Yes. Oh my God, would he be in all? That could be a whole movie in itself.
Yeah.
I can't believe they brought him into the comics and made him a bad guy. I'm still mad about that.
Oh, the comedian?
No, Thomas Wayne.
Oh, yeah, well, nothing is sacred in comics.
After he cried, after the flashpoint at the very end, he gives Bruce the letter, and then you bring him into our world to make him a bad guy. Whatever, DC. Whatever.
Look what they did to Martha. Poor Martha. They made Martha the Joker. I mean, damn. These people have no morals. There's no ethics there. There's nothing sacred. Take your sacred comic self and go somewhere else. Meredith, with this one.
Comic publishing how-tos. This is from globalcomics.com. That's comics with an X. Learn everything you need to know about comics publishing, from finances, budgeting, and marketing. Go to globalcomics.com to find out more.
Speaking of Watchmen, Rorschach number 5 through 7, Paranoia. God, I see, thanks, it's rubbing off, Rob. Paranoia, Parasocial, Relationships, and Frank Miller. Rorschach issues 5 and 7 are great, and Tom King, I'm not going to go through all those, have hooked me on this book. Go check that out at comic.watch.com.
Comic previews, Avengers 45. Hits comic book stores this week, and they've got an official preview for you so you can run out and get it this weekend over at flickeringmyth.com. See what Blade is killing now.
You notice how I put Blade, having a hard time.
Notice how I put Blade right next to the other vampire one? Come on.
Comic book preview, Sacred 6, number 8. Dynamite Entertainment, Sacred 6, number 8 is out this Wednesday, and we've got the official preview of the issue for you right here. Check out Vampirella on flickeringmyth.com.
And this man does not take a break. Again, it's Chuck's Shop Talk. No, this isn't the same one, guys. Chuck sits down with colorist, writer, editor, and publisher Wes Hartman to discuss all things comics. So it sounds like you're going to have a full day over at Chuck's shop.
I could not agree with this more. Marvel does, and we talked about this last week on Weekended. Marvel does not know what to do with the She-Hulk. Marvel's comics simply doesn't know what to do with She-Hulk right now, and they are wasting the character by putting her in the Hulk shadow, trying to make her the savage She-Hulk. It's disgusting. If you're a fan of the 90s She-Hulk, it goes against everything. I'm happy that the Disney Plus show will bring back the original Jennifer Walters as she was intended, not to be savage. I think they're doing the She-Hulk World War that we announced last week deliberately to bring back that other version of the character. I think they'll wind up giving her a cure that makes her be less savage and go back to her roots. Because that smart lawyer who showed up and went to court and then did things after was an awesome character, and I can't wait till they bring her back. I can't wait for the Disney Plus series. Plus that I forget how to say her name. She's amazing, an actress.
She is fantastic.
Oh, I can't wait.
If you want to know who that is, watch Orphan Black. The fact that she plays so many characters and it feels like different actresses every time. It's amazing. You know what's interesting about that? You say that. My daughter made a comment this past week, my 15-year-old, about how, okay, you have a female superhero, but why does she have to act like a man?
Yep.
Why, if it's a female superhero, she could still like girly things and be strong. And she said girly things, mind you, so that's not on me. But yeah, exactly. You don't have, just because men don't have the prototype on being heroic, just because, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, she broke a nail in a comic and beat a guy even harder because she broke a nail. That just was funny to me. I thought that was hysterical. You made me break a nail, son of a bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that. I mean, I've seen that. So
yes, I mean, so we don't have to make her savage.
It's like, oh, dude, I am going to kick your ass, right?
There are guys out there like, what? I don't care about my nails. Like, they could fall off as far as I care. Try to open a can with a broken nail, buddy. Now you get it.
But she was smart. She was intelligent as Hulk, as She-Hulk. Why did you do that? Because isn't that a backwards move in this day and age, especially to make her savage like that? No, she was already a progressive character. Stop!
Yeah.
Damn, stop!
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
she was one of the few characters that got to break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Now she's got an outfit that like changes with her when she morphs, and now she can be human some of the times.
Yeah.
Comics Market Watch. What's that about, Rob?
The Comics Market Watch is where we talk more business-related stuff. The things that didn't necessarily make the news today could be found in there. A lot of information, a lot of stuff that we didn't necessarily think was newsworthy, but worth attention. We did every article that came out this week in news. We're already almost at a 2-hour program today. It would have been a 4 to 5 hour. It's a big week in news, which isn't surprising. Cons are starting up again. People are releasing stuff. Here comes the summer. It's going to be a busy time for the next couple of weeks. So Market Watch, especially the In the Know, will tell you history of comics. It's something to pay attention to and easily found at comicsnewswire.com. Breaking news.
DC reveals new horror imprint to launch with the Conjuring comic. DC reveals DC horror imprint on, check it out at screenrant.com.
Yep. Just came out today. And that's
so
the news.
Is this like the movie Conjuring? Like, are we going to see Ed and Lorraine and fighting demons in the Conjuring comic?
I don't think they would.
Or is
When
it
I
just
saw
the same name?
now I read the article an hour and 2 hours ago now. So since then, something might have changed. But when we were going on air, this had just come out. It sounds like it's going to be an adaptation. So I think it's going to stay true to the roots, but continue the story. If that makes sense. It didn't sound like they're trying to make it just a redo of the movie, but something more. And the fact that they're doing an entire imprint kind of tells you this isn't just meant to be a simple adaptation.
Okay. Yeah, well, the Wards have a whole bunch of stories out there. So, All right. And you want your event, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or news shared on the site? Send us an email with all the info needed to advocate for your news. That's including pitches, where to find you, what it's about. Sell me on this, guys. Go send that news over to comicsnewswire@yahoo.com. And of course, be kind and share. And I'm going to let these guys take these two.
I'll do the Continuum. Continuum Comics, where creators rise through creation, bridging universes together. The book, The Continuum, first issue is at the printer right now. I actually should call and see if the books are ready as soon as I get off air. Meredith?
I'm looking forward to that. And so Geek Insider is one of the partners in this show, and Comic Book Advocate Network is the comic book arm of Geek Insider. So make sure that you head over there and give them some love. We do Geek Speaks. We have Comic Talks on Mondays with C. Michael Lanning and myself, and other news, entertainment, and tech stuff. So if you want to geek out, go over to Geek Insider.
All right. You're on mute. Still on mute.
I got to get over there to push the button. I got a small screen. I'm like, all right. I wanted to kind of bring this up because we talked about earlier Louise Simonson. And yeah, she did a lot for Chris Claremont. There's actually a documentary on Amazon Prime about this, which is really interesting. She doesn't have really nice things to say about Rob Liefeld, though. So...
Well, what's the name of the documentary? I'll actually check it out.
It is it's about, just look up Chris Claremont. It's about Chris Claremont's run and everything. So, and she's not really bashing Rob. She and Rob worked together on New Mutants. It didn't work out. Rob ended up eventually taking that book over. So that's kind of you know how that is. Comics.
Well, it's new, old school and new school sometimes don't mix, and that's kind of why they give new school the book after a while, because the numbers start dropping. They want someone to take over. Mm-hmm. The one thing in comics you should all know is you're going to get fired one day. You're going to get fired by a company. You're going to get fired by the fans. It just happens. That's entertainment.
Well, the long and short of it is this is a team effort for every comic book. It's a team effort. And when you write something and somebody decides to just draw whatever the heck they want to outside of that doesn't even help the story, then you kind of start having issues. So it was the pouches one. But it's nothing like that. Anyway, Rob, where can we find you at?
Chainlinks.site, the only site to cover indie.
Meredith, where can we find you?
Hey, so I came in late, you guys. You can find me at geekinsider.com. You can find me at Continuum Comics. You can find me at Ragin. And you can find all of my links at linktree.com/MEREJ99. That's all of my links, you guys. Head over there and follow me everywhere. Just don't peek in my windows. Right. That's creepy.
And of course, you know me, I'm C. Michael Lanning. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter. I'm probably trying to resurrect my DeviantArt, so you might want to check me out over there. And that's it. We're going to get out of here. Insert cool catchphrase here, and goodbye.
Cool. I promised I hit the button.
I'm like, all right.
All right, guys, go out there and enjoy yourselves. Back a Kickstarter, go to Indiegogo, take some time off and relax, go to a convention, go to a comic book store, and enjoy your time off. We'll see you back here next week for more news coming off the Comics News Wire.